Language, September 4th. So yesterday we learned how to diagram subjects and verbs. Today we are learning how to diagram compound subjects and compound verbs. Very easy, there's nothing difficult about it at all. So when we are diagramming a compound subject, first let's underline our subjects and verbs in this sentence. So English and history are my favorite subjects. What is our verb in the sentence? Are. And who or what are English, history. So we have a compound subject. So when we diagram a compound subject, we're going to have a line for each subject. A line for English, a line for history. We're going to have like a little rocket. We have to have a dotted line on our rocket. And then we're going to draw our vertical line on our horizontal line on out and draw our vertical line for our verb. Our verb is what? Are. And who or what are? English. Now watch what I'm doing with the word and. And is not part of our subject, but it is a connecting word connecting our subjects. So and goes up here at the, I call this a rocket, up here at the head of the rocket, driving the rocket. English and history. So that is how we diagram a sentence with a compound subject. Look at our next sentence. The horse whinnied and kicked. So what is our verb in this sentence? The horse did two things. What did he do? He whinnied, he kicked. Who or what whinnied and kicked? The horse. So we have a compound verb. So now our rocket for our compound verb is going to be on this side. We have a line for whinny, we have a line for kick. Now our rocket is going to be heading this direction. We put our dotted line, we draw our horizontal line, we draw our vertical line. So whinnied is one verb, and is driving the rocket. It's not part of the verb, but it is connecting our compound verb, whinnied and kicked. And who or what whinnied or kicked? Horse. So that is our subject. So that is how we diagram with a compound subject. Now let's say that we said the horse whinnied. Let's take our and out and put a comma. Whinnied, jumped. Let's say jumped and kicked. So now the horse has done three things. He whinnied, he jumped, and kicked. So if that's the case, we still have a compound verb, but our compound verb now will have three lines on it. So we'll have a line for each verb that's in our compound verb. We'll still have our rocket coming out. We'll still have our dotted line. So the horse whinnied, jumped, and is driving the rocket. It goes up there in the seat of the rocket and kicked. Okay, so if we have more verbs, we just draw more lines. The same with our subjects. If this said English and history and math are my favorite subjects, we would just have, our rocket would just get bigger. We would just have another astronaut in our rocket. So English, history, math, there's our rocket. So English, history, math, and is still driving up there in the driver's seat, okay? So no matter how many verbs, compound subjects we have, we just have more astronauts inside that rocket. We give them a seat, and is always the one driving, okay? So that is how we diagram our compound subjects and verbs. So I want you to go ahead and look at page 53. Well, actually, get your language books out and look at page 52. Because while you're doing this exercise, if you get stuck on any that I'm not going to do with you, then you will be able to look over here and find an example of a sentence that you would have on your exercise. So page 52 is going to be like your cheat sheet or your helper sheet, whatever you want to call it, okay? And page 53, it says underline all the subjects one time and all the verbs 2 times. On a separate sheet of paper, diagram the subjects and verbs. So you're going to need probably a couple pieces of separate sheets of paper